So this is part 2 of what I learned from my second experience, 2025, April 6th, just yesterday, climbing the CN Tower. This is all to do with, ultimately with training. To compare, last year my time was 18:33 on my watch, and this time it was 16:58. So what I did was working. My average heart rate was 159 last year to 170 this year. Okay, my theoretical max is 170. That tells you what my age is, right? So that proved again that all the cardio training I've been doing was working. I had pacing issues both times. The first time it was about too many people in the stairwell. This time I just aimed for a goal that was simply too far above me. I paced for 15 minutes. Yeah, cringe, I know. If I had paced it better, maybe I could have been another 30 seconds or a minute even faster. Who knows? But the initial pace I judged after just 10 flights. I knew after 10 flights I had to be at 1 minute because it was 10 flights per minute. And yeah, that turned out to be a little too fast. Where I was hurting, last year it was obviously in the quads and the lungs. Okay, it's a very much an anaerobic workout. And there's no way around the quads. They're doing the bulk of the work. And the faster you go, the more you're demanding of them, or the sore they're going to be. But the big difference was in the shoulders. Last year, my shoulders were quite sore, especially the outward rotator movement muscles in the back there. Didn't say that very well, did I? Yeah, whatever they're called. Those were hurting. They were burning, in fact, by the 100th flight, and it's 144 flights. So I had T-Rex arms, as I was going up the staircase. The rowing fixed that, and this year I had just a feeling of a pump in my shoulders. The rotation of the rotation muscles were not an issue whatsoever. Neither time did I feel it in my abs, and not much in the calves. So last year I ended with a very solid belief that everything was good, all exercises were good, but some exercises simply check more boxes than others. So diversifying is essential, I would even say. But the top 3 exercises were lunges, running, and rowing, especially running up hills. Okay, and these 3 exercises, mimic the movement patterns the closest. Rowing, maybe a little bit less obvious. You're pulling on the handrails, so you got the upper body pull going, hence the rowing machine. But also, the more tired you get, the farther forward you lean, stressing the muscles of the rear chain, which exercise best develops those. Best cardio exercise develops those, the rowing machine. Okay, so this year, I think the top 3 exercises are a little bit different. I keep with lunges and the rowing machines, although for slightly different reasons. I think I need lunges more with heavier weights, because strength training tends to set a cap on how good your cardio can get. Okay, I don't have a scientific explanation for that, but I've believed that for a long time. And when you're also hitting that alactic energy pathway a little bit more. I do have a sore lower back, but yes, I can do some lunges with 50-pound dumbbells, and that will get me a blend, a certain bodybuilding 75%-ish blend of alactic and lactic. So I should be doing that more. And the rowing, it was the whole leaning forward thing, stressing the rear chain. Whereas last year it was definitely more about the upper body pull. But I'm demoting running from my top 3, believe it or not, in favor of cycling. And the big reason is, on an exercise bike like the one back here, you simply turn that knob and you get more resistance. And the feeling in the quads is identical to the feeling I get in my quads from climbing the CN Tower. So that is a very valuable tool. And what else do you get from running? Your abs, okay, your hip flexors, your core, your glutes, maybe calves. You're checking all those boxes with other exercises too. Not that I'm saying running is not important, but I'm demoting it from my top three. Other notable exercises, sit-ups and other exercises that close the hips, like knee raises. Jumping exercises, okay, in particular jumping pull-ups, because again you get the upper body pull, but you're getting a lot of work done by your quads and calves at the same time. So double unders, jumping lunges, long jumps, jumping pull-ups, and whatever else. Snowshoeing in the winter was great. Walking with ankle weights is another great idea, and that's something you can do in warmer weather. It's cardio, okay? Now, remember, power comes from force times distance divided by time. And cardio exercises are low force, very high distance. So when you walk with ankle weights, just like when you up the resistance on a stationary bike, you're changing that balance a little bit. You're upping the force and lowering the distance. Both are great ideas, but you hit different muscles when you're walking with ankle weights than when you're using the stationary bike. Leave no weaknesses in your cardio. Okay, the heart doesn't just pump blood to the legs. Okay, when it pumps blood, it goes all over the body. You want that blood to get back to your heart to be pumped again as quickly and efficiently as possible. So develop your cardiovascular system throughout your whole body. And that's where the diversity comes in. Okay, you don't get total diversity with just running, cycling, and lunges. The assault bike, okay, the upper body push muscles, you get a great effect there. And vary it. Not just the exercises that you're doing, but the power requirements. Okay, zone training, how hard it is. Yes, I could do lunges with no weight, and I did a lot of that this past year. But go with heavier and heavier weights. Do like interval training, 1 minute sessions, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, as many lunges as you can, and just sprint through it as fast as you can. With cardio exercises, it's about going faster. And my average heart rate was 170 this time, which was great. I'm getting the blood to the muscles, and my heart was able to do that, and I was able to keep that up for the entirety of the workout. But now there's another side to it than just getting blood to your muscles. There's using the oxygen contained in that blood. Okay, there's transport deficient and utilization deficient. Okay, it's kind of like cardio versus strength. It's low intensity cardio versus high intensity cardio. I need to be doing more cardio sprints. Get my power output up to the level at which would correspond to zone 5. Zone 4 for cardio, I'm not going to say it's not useful, but the lower limit of zone 4 is what you can maintain for 60 minutes. I don't want to have that as a regular part of a training routine. It's too hard on the body. But you go to the higher end of zone 4 and into zone 5, now you're doing like 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, 3 minutes off, whatever. And that level of intensity is high zone 4 and into zone 5, and I swear I need that as well. It burns the lungs, it improves your max VO2. I wish I knew what my max VO2 was. I use the cardio setting on my Garmin watch. I'm not getting that information when I use that setting. I met a nice fella down there. His name was Steve, and he's in the Hamilton area. And he suggested climbing the staircases around the Hamilton Escarpment. Okay, Hamilton is in a meteor crater, effectively. Okay, it's a hole. It's very nice from what I hear. But yeah, along the rim, the outside of that crater, they built staircases. And allegedly, they built staircases, I should say. And if you go up 6 times, that's the equivalent of the CN Tower climb. So going for a day drive, take the family down there, run up and down the staircases a few times, do intervals, rest, take your time going back down, and so forth. Great opportunity to work on pacing too. This Steve fella, I chatted up because he's one of the few guys who passed me during the race, and he did so doing one stair at a time, and I was doing two at a time. And that makes me think, if I had done one at a time and just gone faster, maybe practice that in training, would I have gotten a better time? As a taller person, though, I feel more inclined to do two at a time. But it could be harder on the quads. I don't know. Uh, that's all I really want to say about training. How you balance training is entirely up to you. What I was doing though, I was doing 6 hours of cardio a week. Okay, what, 270 minutes, so 60, 120, 180, 240. That's like 5 hours plus of largely zone 2 cardio. A little bit of zone 3 to help with the pacing. And then the zone 2 acted as a warm up and cool down for the more intense sessions. How am I going to change that balance? Okay, also 2 sessions a week of weights, totaling a maximum of 20 minutes. The weights, I'll try and do more heavy weights, but still maintain a distribution of body weight, moderate, heavy. But the cardio sprints is the big addition. That's what needs to be in my training going forward. And on the subject, because it's very closely connected, eat more calories. Keep an eye on the body weight, but train with more calories in your diet. And then you get more out of your workouts. And your body, one of the adaptations is that it will store more energy and you'll be better on race day. So, that's all I want to say about this topic. Catch you later.